Hey y'all, welcome to the Imani Michelle. Whether you're on my blog or on my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss new content. This is weird to me to be sitting here in front of you because I haven't filmed in like 2 weeks. So before we begin, I'm going to give you like a quick life update just to tell you what's going on, and then we'll get started with today's video. So I revamped my blog. It is beautiful now. And just to provide a little context, I switched from Squarespace to WordPress, which was hard. That was a really hard transition. I knew it would be hard, but I just didn't expect how hard it would actually be. And it was a very steep learning curve. So I started revamping everything on a Thursday night, and I finally finished and released and opened up my blog again that Saturday morning. So this all happened last week if you're watching this in October of 2020. And that was a steep learning curve, y'all. That was a very steep learning curve. I thought I did a lot of research, and I did, but it's so different. If you've used Squarespace and WordPress, you know that they're very different platforms and you have to do very different things. So it was a lot, but I'm done, which is good. I'm so glad to be done. So anyway, that's what I was doing last week, which is why I didn't release volume 2 of Finance Fridays. So this week we're doing sort of this massive Finance Fridays volume. We're going to talk about 2 things: tracking your bills and how I budget, which has changed over the years. So I'm excited to talk about it. Let's get started. So if you're on my YouTube channel, I'll be sure to link the blog post in the description box, because on the blog post, I'm talking all about how I track my bills, which is really funny because I use about 4 different ways. But here in this video, I wanted to talk about the different budgeting approaches that I have used and what I'm going to use in the future. So just as a little background information, I have been removed from schooling for about, I graduated in 2015 and it's 2020. No, I graduated in 2018. I graduated undergrad in 2015 and then I graduated law school in 2018. So I'm not that far removed from school. I have a ton of student loans, and really I talk a lot about self-care, but something that is uncomfortable to me is financial self-care. And that's the reason why I decided to just bite the bullet and do it, because if I'm uncomfortable, that means that there's area for growth. So as a part of sort of this financial self-care journey, I've watched the videos, I've done the research, and there's sort of 2 different budgeting approaches that I've tried. So the first one that I wanted to talk about was what I'm going to call the percentages budgeting approach. So that says you should spend 50% on your bills and 20 or 30% on 2 different categories. So one is savings, which I think is 30%, and 20% is, I think it's, from what I read, it was all about just like discretionary spending. So obviously those percentages equal to 100. I liked this budgeting approach in theory, but not in practice. And here's why. I love to shop, so I need a better breakdown of spending. Assigning a percentage of my paycheck a month to spending doesn't really help me as much, because I just need more rigid parameters, and that does not give me what I need, because I will just spend everything. So I need a little bit more structure than what the percentage approach to budgeting provides. So if you are like really good at spending and you don't need extra parameters, then perhaps that will work for you. If you're like me and you need a little bit more structure, then I think this second approach is for you. So the second approach is what I am doing now and going to get better at in the future, and that's zero-based or $0 budgeting. So this is different from the percentages budgeting approach because, sorry, my nose itched. Fun fact, in college, I had a friend whose nose would itch, and that was just a superstitious thing that, something big was gonna happen. So I'm hoping that's not what this means right now. But anyway, so the percentages is sort of 50, 20, 30, and then you spend your money accordingly. A zero-based budget is way more specific than that, which is what I need. That's the structure that I crave and need to survive and thrive as a human. So this was, I believe, created or at least made popular by Dave Ramsey, who is a financial guru. If you haven't heard of him, just Google him. And he describes this as every dollar having an assignment. So what I do, instead of just breaking my paycheck down into percentages, every single dollar has to have an assignment. So even if I create budgets for everything in my categories that I spend, whether it's hair care, it's phone accessories, or pens and highlighters, planner items, everything in my life has to have a budget. And if there's money left over, that means that there's more money to budget. So savings is an item, sort of a sinking fund. So having money set away for car maintenance and things like that. Everything, every single dollar has a budget. Even if it's zero, every single dollar in your paycheck needs to be assigned to a category. I like this because it provides me more structure, and I can make adjustments as necessary when I have assigned a dollar amount to a particular category. I'll be honest with you, I'm doing better with self-care in most respects, except for two areas: physical self-care and financial self-care. For some reason, I just can't get those two areas in my life together, but that's okay. I am being patient with myself and understanding that everything is a process. But I think having this budgeting approach and being more serious about it in the future will allow me to have better control over my finances and achieve that level of financial self-care that I want to achieve. So in the comments below, I need your help. Give me some budgeting and some bill tracking tips. If you read the blog post, you'll see that I have to use quite a bit to track my bills, only because I'm really forgetful lately. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.